Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. My name is Alberto Martinez, DVA Aldo de Martinez, MLS ID 894809. This video is to express myself and respond to the disturbing email that I received on March 18, 2022, in regards to a complaint from another agent. So I'm going to read that email and then I'm going to leverage, I'm going to explain, and disclaimer, English is my second language, so some words might not be pronounced correctly, but I'm gonna do my best. And I believe that recording this video is gonna bring my message across better than if I write it. Okay, so on March 18, I received an email from Stacy from the compliance department from eXp stating, compliance has become aware of a situation between you and another agent, another eXp agent, Juan Marquez, especially accepting payments from Mr. Marquez to run through your LLC in order to create fictitious pay stubs for a loan application. The Compliance Review Committee will be meeting on March 22nd, 2022 to review your standing with the company, and we are requesting your narrative to be included in this discussion. Please submit your narrative to me no later than March 21st, 2022. Let me know if you have any questions, and please confirm the receipt of this email. I did not see this email until later on March 21st. In my response, I was a little bit shocked because I would never expect to receive any emails this way. I've been licensed as a loan originator for the last 20 years. Another disclaimer, I am a loan originator, but I do not practice lending anymore because I am a real estate license and because of conflict of interest, so I stick with real estate. So I've been in the real estate industry for 22 years, licensed as a real estate agent for 10 years since 2012. My last employment was one of the most recognized and prestigious lending companies in the country, which is Guarantee Rate. I was the vice president of Ravenswood office in Chicago, and I also had the opportunity to be working as an underwriter for 2 years as an FHA underwriter. So I have a track record where you can obviously see my reviews on Google, and you can see the latest reviews from my clients. And then if you had a little bit of a opportunity to kind of like check me out before you can even like send this disturbing email, and I'm gonna say why it's disturbing to me. Okay, so in this case, there was a complaint from Mr. Marquez, but compliance department did not even give me a chance to give my part of the story. Based on this email, it's like it's officially telling me that they are certain 100% that I committed some kind of a fraudulent transaction, and for that reason, the company needs to meet with me to see where I stand at the moment. Okay, so here we go. On October 7th, 2021, I was attacked. By the way, it's my dog in the background. I was attacked by my employer slash domestic partner in my building in Chicago. I own 3 buildings, and I also own some vacant land. This gentleman was helping me out with the maintenance, and I didn't know that he had mental illness, and he wasn't taking his medication. And then one little argument turned into a big disaster where he stabbed me with a knife 7 times, that I almost lose my life. And I'm here for the grace of God. And I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and it took me like almost 2 months to recover from that tragedy. So the last week of December, I was writing a letter to eXp to terminate my relationship with eXp, because during my adversity, I did not receive any support, and anybody from eXp reached out to me to find out how I was doing, or if I needed any help, support me some kind of a way, moral support. Even though my sister posted this on Facebook, it was a lot of commotion going on, a lot of people commenting, and nobody from eXp had the courtesy to check on me to see what I was doing or how I was doing. So because of that reason, I was writing a letter stating that I was terminating my relationship with eXp. Okay. The same day, I get a message from Mr. Marquez through social media, telling me that he was very impressed with my work and my profile, and that his uncle referred him to me because he wanted to become an agent, he wanted to join my team, and he wanted to work under me. So, as of this date, I have 15 agents that have joined eXp under me. And then those 15 agents have come to eXp because they like what they see, which is, my presentation, my persona, I don't know. But I have not invested any time or efforts with any of those agents. They have been getting their own success. The only way I've been helping them is by me giving them clients, and I split the commission with them. So when Mr. Marquez reached out to me, I was like, wait a minute. Maybe this is a sign that I should not leave eXp. Maybe I should not neglect my agents anymore. Maybe I should change the way I do my business and invest time with this new agent, teach him the ropes, and teach him all the things about real estate. And he can help me with my volume. He can help me to show houses, and it would be a win-win situation. He's bilingual, and he seems like he's eager to work. And I said, great, So I help him out to become part of eXp. Okay, so he joined eXp the last week of December of 2021. He started with me on the second week of January of 2021. Okay, so now I've never been a fan of recruiting. I've never been a fan of babysitting agents. I always focus on my own production, but in this case, I wanted to change things. I want to be different because Mr. Marquez was new agent. He didn't know nothing about real estate, and I wanted to take the opportunity to teach him, but also because with the benefit that he was going to help me out with my value, with my clients. So Mr. Marquez used to come to my home office from 9 in the morning, and he would not leave until almost midnight for almost a month and a half. So I was looking as I was investing my energy, my time, my money, my efforts on him, and he was a very slow learner. It took him almost 3 weeks to put one file in a sky slope. That gentleman quit his full-time job in a warehouse. He had no idea how to use a computer, how to type an email, or how to write a professional email. So I wasn't going to teach him any of that because I need to kind of get going. So during the time that Mr. Marquez was working with me, I felt like I was losing clients. And I felt like I was getting behind because all the time that I was investing with him, trying to teach him, it was time that I could do some other production. So Mr. Marquez started complaining that, he had to go marry in Mexico because he had his fiance already waiting over there, and he was under stress. So what did I do? As a good Samaritan, I had a listing from one of my clients in Bolingbrook for $368,000. Our commission was $12,865. And to help him out, I said, okay, let's split the commission. You take 40 and I take 60%, so that I can put money on his pocket on the first 30 days joining my team. But the benefit was obviously to teach him so he can help me with my volume. So out of my commission, he made $4,800 that he does not deserve. He spent 3 weeks putting this file in a sky slope. And I will go over with him, and he will have the same questions the next day. This gentleman consumed a lot of marijuana. When he come here, I didn't mind it because I want to make him feel comfortable. And this gentleman was a very slow learner. So now, the incident that I described to you where my domestic partner attacked me, obviously, he went to jail, and I didn't have nobody to take care of the maintenance for my buildings, which is Empresas en America, is an S corporation. I do not own an LLC, like you stated on the email, and I never had an LLC. My business is Empresas en America, and that's an S corporation registered with the Secretary of State, and everything is legit. So, another scenario. I offer Mr. Marquez to help me with my building maintenance, and I can pay him hourly rate, and he can also learn about real estate. So that way he can help himself, I can help him out, he can help me. But the reality is that Mr. Marquez never invests, not even 1 minute, to help me with my maintenance for my buildings with Empresas en America. The only thing he did was spending time on a sky slope and on nonsense items that, I say, let's focus one thing at a time, because otherwise you're going to get confused. I was getting frustrated because instead of he learning, I didn't think he was, he didn't have the right experience, and he was not the right fit. So, the same listing that I had, that seller needed to purchase a home. And Mr. Marquez's job was for him to show properties, and I can take care of the paperwork and the negotiations, and he can help me to present the offers. Fill out the offers, and I can present the offers. Okay, that was his job, only to basically help me show the houses. Well, Mr. Marquez demanded, within the 3 weeks working with me, he demanded to split the commission 50-50. When he had no experience, completely new agent, and I was doing majority of the work and spending time teaching him. And I said, no, you already got paid from the listing $4,800, which I think is a lot of money, that you should not get that much, because nobody is going to split 40% of their own client. If it would be your client, it would be a different story, but that's my client. So 40% for the buying is more than enough. Well, Mr. Marquez got furious and he got upset, and this discussion was on a Thursday. Then on Saturday, he was performing an open house with another agency, Remax. So we're talking about compliance. Mr. Marquez is licensed and sponsored by eXp, but he's having an open house with Remax because one of the agents of Remax was trying to convince him to go with Remax. And he disclosed that information to me. And I said, wait a minute. So after I invest all my time with you, almost like a month and a half, training you, and spending my time, and then you just let my clients hanging, like not even like show them houses, not even call them to cancel. And on top of it, you want 50%, and just because I said no, you're going with another agency? You haven't not lifted a finger for my company. So he was gonna utilize the paychecks to purchase a building that he put under contract. And what benefit could I get by me doing those checks, as you call it, that I created some fictitious checks? I was helping him out to buy his first building and how to structure the scenario and the loan and the transaction so he could benefit using his own commission. I was not the agent on the transaction. I was not the lender on the transaction. I was just helping him out. So what benefit could I get by me creating fictitious checks? Have you ever investigated this, or you just assuming that I did something illegal and that's the reason why the company needs to see where I stand? This is what really makes me very, very disappointed about how eXp is handling the situation. Because I have worked very hard to keep my name, my reputation, my licensing. And an agent that has come completely out of school, of pre-licensing school, without having any knowledge of what this business is about, not even how to write an email to a client, is going to call me and complain that he was paying me to create checks. For what? What benefit? For me to make $3,000? It's not worth it. And why would I put myself in that situation? Mr. Marquez canceled his contract 4 times. And I keep negotiating with the listing agent and the seller's attorney to give us another chance. And the seller's attorney, who are you in the transaction because you're not on the contract? And that's when I realized that I was not the agent on the contract. The money that he says that he claimed that he paid me, this is the money that he borrowed from me because he needed the money to go marry in Mexico. And he paid the money back. And he got upset because I didn't pay him from the paychecks that were originated by Gusto, a payroll company, prestigious payroll company. I canceled those paychecks because he does not deserve to get paid on top of the commission that he was getting, and he didn't do anything for me. So I canceled those checks, and that's the reason why he made this commotion. He accused me of me forcing him to do this transaction, and he also called the listing agent and called the lender working on this transaction to let them know that I created some fictitious checks, just like he described to you, eXp. I don't think new agents really realize, the severity of them just kind of like running their mouth without having facts or consequences about this. During that time when he was working on his transaction, his own transaction, the seller's attorney and his attorney were communicating through email to trying to cancel the contract and to get his earnest money back. Mr. Marquez, because he doesn't know anything about how to be on compliance, he responded the emails between attorneys. The seller's attorney was asking if the appraisal has been ordered, because when you're under contract, you only have 7 to 10 days to order an appraisal. And we already like on the 30th day and there's no appraisal. So Mr. Marquez responds to that email and says, it was never an appraisal order. And his attorney, his own attorney, was very upset for the fact that he responded an email when he's not supposed to respond an email, and his own self got himself in trouble and he lost his earnest money for stating something that basically incriminated him. So now, another thing that I want to mention to you. Let's pretend that I created those fictitious checks, and then let's pretend that he paid me the money. So, why he not report me right away? Why he continues with the game? If he's an adult, he's not a kid, he's not a baby. He's an adult. And I'm sure that he understands right from wrong. So if he claims that he pays me money to create fictitious checks, why did he even pay me? Why? Why he don't refuse to pay me and report me with compliance department? And at that point, I will be like, yeah. But he's doing this after the fact. And compliance, not even give me a chance to investigate this further and assume that my LLC, I never had an LLC, I don't own an LLC. That's number one right there. That tells me that you did not did an investigation. And I received another email from Stacy stating that, well, Mr. Marquez has been paying you for several months. Several months. I look in my dictionary. Several means 5 and up months. Have you even looked and see when Mr. Marquez started working at eXp? Have you ever looked and see when Mr. Marquez became licensed? Okay? He's furious because his plans did not go well, and because I don't want to offend anybody, but his lack of knowledge and ignorance put him in this position. And he has lost money on he lost his earnest money. And then I can basically go after him for the commission that I pay him from my listing when he did nothing. And why I did this is because I see the benefit of him helping me out with my volume and continue moving forward. That's the reason why I invested my time, money, efforts, energy, knowledge, name it. And if you had a chance, go on Google and look at my reviews from my past clients in the last 30 days. So I am very disappointed and shocked of how eXp is handling this situation. But I'm gonna close this out with a scenario that happened to me. And let's see if you really do your due diligence and be on the compliance, because this is very disappointing. Okay, in September 2021, I refer a client to one of my agents in Indianapolis. The client had a really low score, and he was like in the low 500s. I worked with a client for a whole year in fixing his credit and giving him some tips and put him in order so he can qualify for a loan. Once again, I do not do loans, but I do understand the technicality to take a loan from A to Z. So I help him out to get into his first home. That client, during the process, applied for a Navy Federal credit card, and they gave him $22,000, and he went and maxed it out. His credit score dropped to 608. So I had to invest hours of work in structuring his deal so he can close, because his wife was pregnant and he did not want to disappoint his wife. He promised to pay me, in addition to my commission, $10,000 in addition. And he signed a contract, buyer's agreement. The day of the closing, I'm in Illinois. They closed in Indianapolis. After the closing, I contacted my agent to see how the closing went, and she told me that the buyer claimed that he was short to close, and he didn't have money to close, and for that reason, she authorized the removal of my commission from the equation. She stated that the client was going to pay us back in 3 days. The client never paid us back. The client never picked up his phone or text me back. I reached out my upliner, Joseph Rosario. He didn't know how to handle the situation. I reached out to the broker in Indianapolis. Never received a reply. I reached out to my other upliner in Wisconsin, Jesse Garcia. He didn't know what to do. I reached out to Randy in Texas, my other upliner. He didn't know how to handle the situation. I was stunned that I had to hire my own attorney for legal advice because eXp left me get wet on the rain. And now I get this disturbing email accusing me of doing wrongdoing or doing something fraudulent just because an agent is being licensed for a month is putting a nonsense complaint against me when there is no grounds, that this is really happened. So at this point, because of the way that this complaint was handled and because of the way it has been interpreted, I am no longer one representing eXp. As of today, March 29, 2022, I terminate my relationship with eXp. I wish you nothing but the best endeavors in your business. And this is only an experience and another school for me that I have learned. And this teach me that I was gonna focus on myself, my own investments, and whoever's out there, because this video is gonna go on YouTube, be careful when you are working with new agents, because those are a dangerous weapon. And if you're not careful, your business can die. And they can throw you under the bus for a nonsense situation because they don't understand the business. And they haven't been where we have been for many years. And I'm not gonna let eXp dictate my future for me. I make that decision myself. I don't want you to tell me where I stand. I know where I stand and I know what I have. I'm Chicago Realtor Superstar. And that's why I have 10,000 followers on social media, because of the impact that I provide. And I'm about to be on TV, and I'm gonna get either further. This right here is gonna help me jump, either surpassing many expectations. So thank you for communicating with me. I hope this video makes sense. And until then, Aldo de Martinez, goodbye for now.